Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Buckle up. This is going to be fun inside a packed PK Park. It's the matchup everyone expected to see, many wanted to see this weekend. Oregon State in the Eugene Regional. Oregon State playing its second game of the day, staving up elimination, getting revenge over Washington State after Friday's loss. And if the Ducks win tonight, they advance to the Supers. Beavers trying to force another game tomorrow night. Hi again, everybody. Clay Matvick alongside 2003 national champion David Aardsma. It's great to have you with us for this one. Since 1907, these two universities have been playing baseball against each other. The 374th meeting tonight. I don't think there's ever been a bigger game between these two.
Absolutely not. You couldn't ask for a bigger stage, a bigger game for these two teams to face each other. Both offenses finally got going, and both pitching staffs have been dominant.
The Oregon Ducks have won two excellent ball games so far. They've been good on the mound. They've been good at the plate, timely hitting, especially from Junior Lewacki. These weren't real difference-making home runs, but emotionally, these two three-run homers were.
They're the separators. He absolutely crushed both of these home runs and crushed the opponents with them. He can swing for the fence, and he goes for it every single at-bat.
Junior Lewacki, the designated hitter. He is a fan favorite. Meanwhile, Oregon State, the pitching has been dynamite throughout the course of the season. The #1 ERA in the country, and we have seen 3 great starts so far.
And one of the best defenses, but that pitching staff has been taking over this tournament. 40 strikeouts, and they've been putting every single guy on the mound has been racking up those strikeouts, looking for more tonight with Wyatt Queen.
Just about every eye that's a sports fan in the state of Oregon will be watching this one. We hope you stick around. Oregon State, Oregon in the regional final in Eugene. It took till Sunday in the Eugene Regional, but we're getting Oregon and Oregon State meeting in the NCAA tournament for the first time. And the Ducks will try to end it tonight. Oregon State wants to see another game in this regional tomorrow night. The Ducks' batting order does not change from what we've seen the first two nights in this tournament. Ryan Cooney leading it off. Junior Lewacki Jr. Eugene Regionals, you can see 2 home runs, both of the 3-run variety. He has 7 total runs batted in. Wyatt Queen will make his first start of the year for Oregon State, his second appearance of the regionals. The junior right-hander was the first one out of the pen Friday in that loss to Washington State.
Yes, took the loss to Washington State. Obviously, Kleinschmidt dealt that night. The whole bullpen pitched very well, but he gave up the losing run. The 2.55 ERA, so he has 71 strikeouts to 18 walks over 42 innings pitched. He can strike out with the best of them, strike out hitters with the best of them, and this staff has been so dominant on the mound. 40 strikeouts in this regional so far, 1.33 ERA, and they have a national best 3.21 ERA over the season.
So here we go. Ryan Cooney in the box. The Ducks 1 win away from the Super Regionals in front of a sellout crowd for the 3rd night in a row. Jumps on the first pitch, skies it into the outfield. Short left. Tyler Inge, the shortstop, is there, battling the sun, but makes the catch for the first down.
One thing you're going to see out of this Oregon batting group is early swinging. Like we saw it right there, very first pitch of the game. We've seen it the entire tournament so far. They're jumping over early fastballs in the middle. They're trying to swing the bat.
So 1 out for Angel Laya. Having a good tournament, 4 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in the first game. Against Yale, he was 1 for 4 last night. And the win over Washington State. What a freshman year. Big Ten all-freshman team. 308, 14 homers, 46 runs batted in. The 14 homers in Oregon freshman record. A.J. Singer, the second baseman, practically in right field. Against Ryan, he goes opposite way. There's Proctor ranging to his left to make the catch. Josh Proctor out in left field again tonight for Oregon State. There's 2 down. Was hit well by Laya. Now bring up Drew Smith with the bases empty. This is the nicest night. And last night wasn't bad. It was cooler, but it's 69 degrees as we start this game. The wind has been blowing out all day, but the Eugene Regional has the fewest amount of home runs of any of the regionals in the country. Just 4 out of all the games here this weekend.
And 2 of them by one of these Oregon players. Junior Lewacki can hit it anywhere. It doesn't matter if the wind's blowing in, wind's blowing out. He can hit home runs.
Drew Smith 5 for 8 with a run batted in this weekend. And he chops that one foul. Wyatt Queen, JUCO transfer, 2nd year at Oregon State.
Especially against right-handed batters, he's going to use his slider a lot. 42% of the time and 43% with 2 strikes.
And it's 0-2 here. Race one down and away. Trying for a quick inning. And we've seen Oregon State be effective that way with their starters all year, but especially here the last 3 days.
These 3 days have been special for them. They've been good all year, but these 3 days have been special.
Just off the plate, the home plate umpire, Mike Lusky. Two down. Queen's pitch, again wrapped foul. The Ducks went 0-2 at home in the regional last year. This year 2-0. And, you know, the crowd, you could just sense the excitement, so much anticipation before this game. With that said, I heard most people talking about UCLA getting upset before this game. That was the big talk. Yeah. Breaking ball stays high, and a full count to Drew Smith. Ducks still standing, though, representing the Big Ten. Nebraska's out. UCLA, that's a big surprise. #1 national seed bowing out. That rides it and hits him. And Drew Smith shrugs it off, heads down to first base. 2-out base runner for the Ducks.
Tries to go with a fastball inside and let it ride a little bit too much. Remember, if you're a fastball pitcher, you're somebody who really believes in it, you have to be okay hitting guys, especially with this Oregon staff who wants to establish insides of hitters. Watch all night. You're going to see a lot of inside fastballs to these Oregon Ducks. As a pitcher, you have to be comfortable with it. You're going to hit a guy or two, but that's what you do pitching in.
Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, his staff not afraid to challenge hitters. As Braden Jackson comes up with 2 down. Checks his swing, he holds up on ball 1.
You don't become the best pitching staff in the country by pitching away all day long. You become it by challenging hitters and not being afraid to go in and then throw pitches below the zone.
10 home runs for the 6'6" freshman. Comebacker, Queen snares it. And he's out of the inning. Hits Smith. But no runs, no hits, no errors. And coming up to the plate for the first time, the Oregon State Beavers. They have been playing baseball in this rivalry going back to 1907. I don't know that the Model A had been invented yet. Oregon trailing in the all-time series, but they have won 7 of the last 10. They've met a couple of times this year, but this one is the most important game they've ever played. They have never met in a national tournament setting. And out Oregon State to hit for the first time in this matchup. Easton Talt will lead it off. He's the center fielder. Jacob Galloway, the catcher, he has been very good defensively. Earlier today against Washington State, a 4-for-4 game with a career-high 5 runs batted in. And they're going to face a left-hander. Junior Miles Gostola was the Sunday starter throughout the balance of the year. Gonzaga transfer. Strikes out a lot of hitters.
Strikes out a ton of hitters, just like we saw yesterday with Will Sanford. 61 strikeouts over 56 innings pitched. This kid has some great stuff. Lanky, he uses his angles. Extremely tough on left-handed batters. Will use his slider against them and use it a lot.
It's going to be hard to follow what Will Sanford did here last night. Struck out the first 5 hitters he faced, struck out 6 in a row at one other point, ended up with 14 Ks overall. And he had this crowd eaten out of his hand.
see if he can bring the same type of energy. I don't think he can. I think he's a little different type of pitcher, but man, that energy was amazing.
First pitch to Easton Talt. Sits off the plate. Talt is 2 for 7 in this tournament. You can see his batting average, 266, 5 homers, 44 runs batted in.
Gaustul is only like 90 to 93 miles an hour as a pitcher, but his angles and the way he uses his body with his arm, it looks like it's a lot harder. His angle, the extension.
This is what Oregon State does. That's a base hit for Talt. They have handled the bat so well in this regional. Sacrificing, bunting for hits. And Easton Talt has his 3rd hit of the day.
This is the perfect tweener. We've seen them do this the whole tournament, bunting it right at the second baseman. When the first baseman has to commit to go try to get that ball, it's over.
Veteran outfielder from Everett, Washington is aboard as A.J. Singer comes up. Singer again at second base, one of the best in the country at his position. Went 2 for 6 earlier today against Washington State with a run batted in. Has 4 hits in the regional. And so what do you anticipate Mitch Canham and this offense doing here? The head coach has been aggressive with his players on the bases. Do they steal him? Because Easton Talt is very fast, or do they butt him over?
I see Singer putting it down. Let the pitch happen. Ooh, didn't put it down. I see him at some point putting the bunt down, a hit and run. I don't think we're going to see a straight steal. I think maybe it's too good behind the plate, or too good of an arm to be just straight steal. We've only seen, I think, 1 straight steal out of Oregon this entire tournament. But the whole tournament, really, their MO has been get a guy on, the next batter does something, lays it down, hit and run, something. Then that's how they've been producing their offense.
Mitch Canham, 7th year as head coach. Off the end of the bat, this is going to serve as a sacrifice. That's a productive out for A.J. Singer, as Talt is now in scoring position with 1 out for Ethan Porter.
It's tough to be excited about that result. The same job, you got your job done. Your job is to get him to second base. I don't care how. So you should go in that dugout with your head high, not be excited about how hard you hit it or where you hit it, but you got the job done.
So 1 out for Ethan Porter, the designated hitter. Hammers this one to center. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Jack Brooks moving to his left, makes the catch. Tagging and heading to third is Talt, and he's going to get there. When it came off the bat, it looked like it was going to travel further. Again, there is about a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind going out to straightaway center, yet the ball has not traveled here the last couple of days.
We really haven't seen it. The first night was the only time where I saw balls go up where it looked like outfielders got comfortable, then had to move extra further back. We have not seen the ball travel the way we were expecting it.
Runner 90 feet away now for Paul Vasquez. Comes up with 2 outs.
Those are the reactions you're going to see from a pitcher like this. When you have long, lanky arms and he gets a ton of extension, that ball wasn't that far in, but you're going to see hitters think it's further in than what it was.
It was 2 for 4 earlier today. Swung out and missed as Gaustul is trying to get through this first inning without any damage being done. Gave up the leadoff bunt single to Talt. It's upstairs, 2-1. Paul Vasquez has been very good at third base throughout the year, throughout this regional. you look at Trey Morris. He was the starting pitcher for the game earlier against Washington State. Went 6 2/3 for the win. Swung out and missed. 2-2.
Good changeup that just stayed on that outside part of the plate. It was a little bit middle of the zone, but just enough. 82 miles an hour, about 10 miles per hour off of his fastball, and that's how you get a swing like that where he's out in front of it.
This is why you want to host. Full count. Ducks fans trying to drown out the smattering of Beavers fans. Just at the plate, ball 4. Vasquez will take his base. Runners at the corners, 2 down, and here comes Josh Proctor.
Great eye by Vasquez. That pitch was just off the corner of the plate. A little down, a little out. Maybe this is real good back there. So he's going to make them look better than what they are. Wonderful job of taking it.
So Miles Gostola dealing with some traffic here in the first inning. Josh Proctor, the left fielder, was 0 for 4 on Friday night, but since then he's been on a tear. Swings at the first pitch and sends it back. He had a couple of hits in the earlier game today against Washington State. Was 3 for 4 yesterday. Good-looking true freshman. Came into the regional on a 9-game hitting streak. That ended on Friday, but has picked it right back up. Inside.
Again, that's that reaction. It's not that far inside, but his angles and the way he throws makes it look like it's closer than what it is. And you saw right before the pitch, the runner on third base made that fake steal home, trying to create a little bit of havoc.
2 on, 2 out. 1-1 pitch. In on the hands and foul. And the Oregon Ducks, after the victory last night, a game that was played very quickly because of Will Sanford's outing, and Luke Myers, the starter for Washington State. The game lasted about 2.5 hours. They had all day to sit around and think about this one. Meanwhile, Oregon State comes in with some momentum with the win today. 2 on, the pitch. Struck him out. And Gostola will work around the 2 base runners in the first inning. We head to the second. No score in Eugene. The Los Angeles Regional and the Morgantown Regional match up in the Super Regional round next weekend. What's missing from this?
a little team. I don't know if you've heard of them, UCLA.
Yeah, the Bruins knocked out today, upset again by St. Mary's. So Cal Poly is the team that's 2-0. The Mustangs sitting in the driver's seat, taking on St. Mary's right now in LA. Meanwhile, West Virginia rallying in Morgantown in front of their hometown crowd. They were trailing Kentucky in the 9th. And a few runs, rallied and won it. And so there will be a 7th game in that regional in Morgantown.
It's a great baseball town, too. People love their team.
Berkeley maybe is leading it off for Oregon. He's going to try to bunt his way on. Wyatt Queen just handled that like a champ. Didn't rush it for the first out. ESPN is the home for the NCAA Regionals. Coverage of all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the app. For more information, visit ncaa.com. Junior Lewacki, who we've been talking about. 2 for 8, 6 runs batted in. Both of those hits homers. Hit one 459 feet. Halfway up the light stanchion out in left center field against Yale. And a 3-run shot in the 8th for insurance last night against Washington State.
He does not get cheated. I love it. If that ball was hit today, that 459-foot home run was hit today, that would be in somebody's back seat in a car. He can swing it, and almost all those home runs have come in April. It's incredible.
April and May. Yep. 14 homers in the last 26 games going back to the first week of April.
Amazing. You can see him. He is a big boy.
6'5", 265. Swung out and missed. Wyatt Queen makes quick work of Junior. 2 outs.
Queen not afraid of Junior Lewacki, coming right after him. Fastballs and sliders down and away. Just like everybody else in this staff, they can strike you out when he goes to the slider when he needs it.
So Queen with his first strikeout. And now he'll face Maddox Maloney with the bases empty. Maloney batting down in the 7th hole. He has found a comfortable spot here, but you look at his numbers. And good power numbers, driven in a lot of runs. So this is a very long Oregon lineup.
Double-digit home runs deep into this lineup. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Batting average down a little bit this year. He's been over 300 each of his first 2 seasons at Oregon. Trying to hold up. 1-2 the count.
Wyatt Queen's slider is ridiculous. 2,500 RPM on the slider. That much movement, that much spin allows the ball to move. Wait and see, creates a lot of angle on it too, and gets a big down break on the slider.
Maloney's actually 3rd on the Ducks' all-time home run list. Pretty impressive for the shortstop from Springfield, Oregon. 2 outs, the 2-2. Struck it out. An 11-pitch inning for Wyatt Queen. Back-to-back strikeouts. Oregon State needs Queen to be the king tonight. They want to play another ball game tomorrow. And so far, so good for the Beaver. First time for the Beavers not hosting a regional since 2023. Still a 45-win season after that win earlier today over Washington State. Program record 9th straight national tournament for head coach Mitch Cannon's Beavers. 7th year as head coach for Cannon. Adam Haight, Jacob Galloway, and Jacob Craig to lead it off here in the second. .276 for Haight. Swung out and missed. Miles Gastola had to deal with some base runners in the first inning. Gave up a bunt single to Talt. Then got the next 2 outs. And then walked Vasquez. And he stranded those runners at the corners. This one is lined into right field, and it's going to get down in front of Laya for a base hit for Adam Haight. So singles to start each of the first 2 innings tonight for Oregon State.
Oregon State doing a good job of hitting and creating a little pressure. Last inning, like you said, the bunt and a walk, and now a little flare to right field right off the end of the bat. But yes, this is Oregon State baseball that we're seeing. We are totally kind of opposite of Oregon. They're not this massive power team. They will take every little bit that they can get and look for them to try to move the runner right here.
5th hit of the weekend for Adam Haight as Galloway comes up, and there's the bunt again. Goes right to the pitcher. Maybe had time to go to second, but taking no chances. Throws out Galloway, so Adam Haight in scoring position. Another successful sacrifice for these Beavers.
This is what they've been doing all tournament. The moment they get a guy on, get him over and an opportunity. It has been working for them too. Like, it's not this impressive, crazy, drive you wild offense. But man, it is get him on, get him over, get him in, and let your pitchers do their job.
Jacob Craig getting the start at first base again tonight. He's the starting first baseman earlier today as well. 6'5", 270 pounds, senior. It's been a tough year at the plate. Had 14 homers a year ago, just 4 this season.
He is dangerous if you let him get into a groove. He's starting to swing the bat pretty well in this tournament. Obviously, we see the numbers definitely down from what it was last year. But this is a hitter that you don't want to get comfortable.
It's off the glove of Mabius. Quickly pounces on it. 2 balls and a strike. No home runs in the regional for Oregon State, but they've had 11 doubles this weekend. And Craig has 2 of them.
I want to see Craig versus Junior Lewacki in a home run derby. It would be impressive to see those balls fly.
One out, one on. Swung out and missed. Gastola rearing back. Beats Craig with a 92-mile-an-hour heater. They're 2 down.
Gastola not afraid to go to his fastball. Overly dominant with his fastball this year in usage. And right here, even gets a big power hitting Craig up in the zone. He's not 95, 98 like some of the other guys. But man, he uses it with a lot of effectiveness.
This is Tyler Inge in the 9-hole, the shortstop. He's had a good tournament. He's been productive at the bottom of the Beavers order. 1 for 3 earlier today with a run batted in against the Cougars. 2 for 6, 3 runs batted in the first 2 games of the tournament. It's the inside corner. Stola working ahead. Two strikes.
So one thing I love about Gus Stola is he's not afraid to use his fastball, even in these counts. Like everyone else would normally use changeup or slider, he still goes to it 70% of the time.
This is inside, 1-2. Beavers with 15 hits earlier today against Washington State. A couple of hits so far. This Miles Gostola. The 1-2 pitch. Trying to frame it there. Berkeley Mabius doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire.
Crowd wanted it, but it was definitely outside. It was on that other batter's box line. Mabius is very good at the plate in framing those pitches, that new catching style, and getting it, making it look like a strike.
So Inge works it full. The son of former big leaguer Brandon Inge. Took over it short in April and hasn't looked back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Haight away from second. Walked him. Walks the 9-hole hitter, and here comes Easton Talt.
Inge, known for his defense, his arm especially, but he has put together some very good at-bats in this tournament.
Easton Talt was such a big part of that Omaha team last year. For their 2nd straight year, leading the club in walks and stolen bases. Such a spark plug. A great table setter, the kind of guy you want at the top of the lineup. He's off balance on that one. 1 strike. Had a bunt single in the 1st inning. Got to 3rd. And Oregon got off the field, leaving him there. Breaking ball.
Ooh.
Didn't miss by much.
A little up, left it a little up over the plate. Talt shaking his head, saying that ball was definitely a ball.
1 ball and 1 strike to Easton Talt. Inside out swing, sprays it foul. Just an amazing crowd here tonight. And those seats where that foul ball just went. Those seats down either line, actually. That is first come, first serve. You should have seen the folks racing to get that oceanfront property right there. The 1-2. And flip foul.
I love when a crowd is into it like this. Clapping with every pitch, every 2-strike count. They're up on their feet. This is great baseball.
Line into right field, base hit. Haight will score. Stopping at 3rd is Inge, and Easton Talt has put the Beavers on top 1-0.
2nd hit of the day for Talt. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Gostola always going to his fastball in a lot of these counts, and then believing it, and Talt turning it around, getting it right past the 2nd baseman, out into right center field. Huge first run here for the Beavers.
45th run batted in for Easton Talt. And it's a biggie. As the Beavers have to win this one to keep their season alive. It's double elimination in every round of the NCAA tournament. The regional round, the super regional round is a best of 3. Then the College World Series, and then there's a College World Series Finals Series, which is also best of 3.
The tournament is almost like a tournament of attrition.
It is.
The team that can just last the longest. You can bend a lot, you just can't break.
Now still rears back. A.J. Singer fouls it off. Singer, ground ball on an excuse-me swing. It rolled over to Braden Jackson, the first baseman, for the first out of the first inning. But A.J. Singer has been very good. Leading the team in runs batted in. Couple of base runners here. Runner goes from first. Pitches out. Mabius throws to second. They'll come home. The tag. Got it.
His foot might have came down and stopped the player from sliding into home. They might review it. That might be the difference maker here. Called him out initially. Great double throw.
Tyler Inge was out. That was the call anyway at home plate by Mike Lusky, but Oregon State wants a challenge here.
The runner at first, this is designed for the runner to run and stop, trying to get into a rundown between second and first. And so he just stops, and then the throw home. Let's watch that tag. I think they have a good argument that his foot stopped him from getting in. You have to give an open lane to the runner into the base. Old school baseball, he is out. New school baseball, I think they have a good argument.
So if you're reviewing this in Pittsburgh, what's your call?
My call is safe, because as the catcher came down and blocked home plate, you have to give him a clear lane into home plate. You have to get out of the baseline. And the one thing that is dangerous that we got to talk about is his cleat came down onto his hand. And that's why you generally don't want to slide hand first into home plate, especially right down the line.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is out. Oregon has challenge remaining.
Ball stands, and Oregon State loses a challenge. 1 remaining. So Oregon State gets 1 in the inning. That's all they get. For the Super Regionals next weekend, we know that. as the Longhorns ended the Austin Regional with a win over UC Santa Barbara, 6-4 the final there. So whomever it is that comes out of Eugene will be heading to Austin. Oregon can punch a ticket tonight. Oregon State trying to force a game on Monday evening or maybe afternoon. We'll see when the game would be scheduled. Still a lot that has to be decided. As we go to the Oregon third inning. Oregon, even though this is their ballpark, they're the visiting team on the scoreboard. And Jax Jimenez at the plate for the first time. Trying to get Wyatt Queen off of his rhythm. Mark Wasikowski certainly would like to see that start sooner than later. Wants to get into that Oregon State bullpen. To first base, Craig says, "I'll take it myself." And Wyatt Queen has not allowed a hit. He hit Drew Smith back in the first inning, but since then he has retired 5 in a row.
And has looked very good doing so, efficient as well. 27 total pitches, 17 strikes, giving Oregon State exactly what they want, exactly what they need is good, quick outs. Yes, holding him to no hits and just that hit by pitch, but he's making quick use of these hitters, getting them out fast.
Jack Brooks is the 9-hole hitter, so the last man first time through for Wyatt Queen. The center fielder, 1 for 7 in the national tournament. Here's another guy that, even though he's at the bottom of the order, has a lot of pop in his bat. 6 home runs on the year. 104 home runs for the Ducks this season. Leads the Big Ten, but we've only seen 2 long balls this weekend from Oregon. This is going to go the other way. Knocking it down is Inge. It scoots into left field anyway. And it's 1-out base hit for Jack Brooks. And now the lineup will turn over.
Like we just said, they wanted to get some hits on the board. First one of the night past that sliding Inge. Inge known for his defense. That ball at the last second just getting under his glove. Almost just over slid for it, but not much you could do even if he came up with that. Brooks is way too fast.
Ryan Cooney's 0 for 1, popped out to short his first time up. Ryan Cooney is a leader on this team. 79 hits, 50 runs scored, also leads in average and walks. As Queen throws over to first base, just keeping tabs on Brooks. Cooney looks at a strike. Junior from Portland, very solid at second base. Couple of doubles, 3 runs batted in the tournament coming into the night. That's outside. 2-1. Brooks talked about, I'm sorry, David.
Brooks, 16 stolen bases on the season, 19 attempts. I know that they're facing Galloway, who's been incredible behind the plate, but you might want to look for some action here on this pitch.
I think Wyatt Queen was thinking what you were thinking.
He looked like he was looking at first base, and he almost looked like he wanted to go. But good call. Definitely one of the things you can do as a pitcher when you think they're going to steal. Pick, change your timing, pick, hold the ball, step off. There's a lot of things you can do just to get the runner off of their feet.
This is something that we did not see the first time through the order. Oregon was much more aggressive early in the count. They didn't really work the pitch count for Queen as much as maybe they would have liked. Maybe we're seeing a different approach now as the Ducks are coming around for the second time. Runners up, pitch is swung on, popped up, left side, Vasquez, tough play into that sun, has to gaze up there, and he makes the catch for the second out.
We saw that. That in game 1, too. Same kind of ball, and the shortstop peeling off and letting Vasquez get it. That's normally really good shortstops just take that ball, knowing the third baseman's going to have to travel and move a little bit. They can step up and just catch it a lot easier. But Vasquez is a Gold Glover, and you let him catch the ball.
Angel Laya comes up. Flew out to left field in the first inning. Hammers this one into right field. 2-out base hit. Trucking to third as Brooks will get there. Throw back to first base. Laya slides in safely. So a couple of hits this inning for the Ducks. That one with 2 outs. And here comes Drew Smith, who has been one of the most productive players all season long for Oregon.
Laya with the shot into right field. We finally get the Ducks, get a little life going in this game. First and third here for the Ducks. We have seen Drew Smith put the ball down on the ground in bunt situations, bunt things 2 outs. I don't know if they're the type of offense that are willing to bunt in this situation, trying to get for a base hit, but you never know.
He swings at the first pitch, bounces it foul. Smith was hit by a pitch in the first inning. First base runner tonight for the Ducks, but he was stranded. Oregon finally with a hit here this inning. They've received 2 base knocks. Now looking for the first run. Down a run here in the third. Through the wide open right side. We're tied. On his way to third goes Laya. And he is out. Good throw from Adam Haight in right field to end the inning. But the Ducks tie it up at 1. And this is the kind of game we are in for tonight here in Eugene.
Without a doubt, Haight with his arm, beautiful throw into third base. You see the runner going the whole way, never slowing down. Haight with a perfect throw, an incredible tag by Vasquez. That is why he is a Gold Glover at third base.
Clay Matvick, David Artsma back here. PK Park, Eugene, Oregon. Standing room only. As the Beavers come up in the home half of the third. That's right, the Beavers are the home team. And the game is now tied. Oregon State scored a run in the second. Ducks answering back with a run of their own in the top of the third. And so A.J. Singer, who was left at the plate when Inge was tagged out at home plate on that rundown play. Back up there, he is 0 for 1. And so now Miles Gostola, I would think, would be a little bit more at ease back in a tie game.
Yes, more at ease, more comfortable. it feels good for the Ducks. Again, one of those important things you do, if you give up a run as an offense, you go out there and go get one. Tie it up. Do not you let them win the inning. The second inning, the Ducks won, or the Beavers won the inning. You come right back, score a run, take away that momentum, and try to win this inning, and then keep going from there.
Costello with a strikeout. Singer goes down for the first out.
Super rare changeup with the 2 strikes for Gastola. Great pitch. Only throws that pitch about 10% of the time with 2 strikes to right-handed batters. Nasty.
Third strikeout for Miles Gastola, the left-hander. Now facing Ethan Porter. Swings at the first pitch. Porter flew out to center. 0 for 1. Got to imagine how fatigued some of these Beavers are. I know that they're going on sheer emotion. And you know, when you're 19 to 22 years old, you can handle a lot. With that said, they were at the ballpark around 9 o'clock this morning, 10 o'clock maybe.
These doubleheaders are really tough, and what's really difficult about it is that 2-hour break, hour and 45-minute break, where you're high emotion after the win against Washington State, and then it's a big letdown as you see guys sitting on the field watching other baseball games during the day. Then you have to get it picked back up. It is difficult.
The 1-2. Ethan Porter has become a fixture in the 3-hole for Oregon State. Just a freshman. Mitch Canham has rebuilt around players that he lost from that Omaha team a year ago, and it was a significant amount of players that moved on. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gastola. He has 4 now.
Walking around the mound, a little confidence. Gotta love it. Channeling his inner Will Sanford. Just rearing back and letting that thing go.
Looking more and more comfortable. Vasquez walked against Gastola's first time up. The sophomore has been on base a lot over the course of this tournament. 5 for 12, a couple of runs batted in. It's interesting to note that there is activity in the Oregon State bullpen. You would think then that indicates Wyatt Queen's night is over. No guarantees, but Isaac Yeager is warming up. And we will soon find out. 3 straight strikeouts for Gastola as he is starting to heat up. We have played 3 in Eugene. Oregon won. Oregon State won. ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage, scan the QR code on your screen. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. That's where you want to go to watch the tournament in its entirety, all in one sitting. Chris Burke, Mike Rooney, Chris Budden, Matt Schick handling all the details, and a lot of excitement today. And of course, if you haven't heard by now, the biggest news of the day is the #1 national seed UCLA has been eliminated. Cal Poly, the Mustangs, 2-0 in the LA Regional, taking on St. Mary's there to decide who's going to come out of LA.
Absolutely incredible. Amazing that UCLA is a bona fide #1. They're the best team from get-go, from the very beginning of the season. To go down this soon is amazing.
Braden Jackson, Berkeley Mabius, Junior Lawaki for Oregon in a 1-1 game. Top of the 4th. Oregon trying to finish this regional up tonight. Put a bow on it. Head on to the Supers in Austin, Texas. Oregon State wants to sleep in the hotel again tonight. And come back here and meet the Ducks in the final game of the regional. It'll be a game 7. Well, we thought Wyatt Queen might be done because Isaac Yeager has been out in the bullpen. He's been keeping an eye on things sharply. Swung out and missed. Galloway's going to have to throw down to first. He does to get Jackson, who is 0 for 2 now. But the way Wyatt Queen has been throwing, he did give up a run last inning, but gets a strikeout here of Jackson to start the 4th.
Yes. I didn't think he was going to be going out the way he was warming up down. And Yeager was warming up in the bullpen. But again, 38 pitches on Friday against Washington State. He is now at 42 pitches. Just the question is how many they want him to go. When is that breaking point?
Berkeley Mabius and a little comebacker to Queen his first time up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Semi-finalist for the Buster Posey Award for the nation's top collegiate catcher. Mabius 2 for 8 in the regional. He broke up the perfect game for Luke Myers with a double in the 5th yesterday. Also threw out a runner on Friday. He's been fun to watch. The Ducks have allowed only 21 base stealers this year, and that's in large part to what Mabius does behind the dish. I mean, just a fantastic receiver. That one tied him up 2-2.
And it gets Galloway on the back end of his swing. It's Galloway kind of holding his glove or holding his hand. Catcher on catcher crime, man. Come on.
Just got a piece of it. Mabius from Henderson, Nevada, outside of Vegas. Went to Bishop Gorman High School there. Gotta like good defensive catchers who also hit left-handed. I mean, they're not exactly falling out of trees. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. Randy Rosenberg, third base umpire.
My favorite catcher trait is when he only allows 22 base runners to steal during the year. I enjoy that. And you know, he's really quiet behind the plate. You don't see a whole lot from him because not many people want to challenge him.
Swung out and missed. Mabius goes down. Back-to-back Ks here for Wyatt Queen, who may be getting stronger as we carry on here in the 4th inning.
Wyatt Queen is really getting into his own. Back-to-back strikeouts here, going to his go-to pitch, his curveball, bottom of his own back foot against Mabius.
What a ball game. And now Junior Lawaki.
If your name's Wyatt, do you have to have a mustache? You must. It's in the rule book.
Milwaukee struck out against Queen. 14 homers, 2 in this regional. And behind quickly, 0-2. Milwaukee homered twice last week at the Big Ten tournament. He's homered twice here in the regional.
If I'm Queen, I'm going right back to that side. I'm not messing around. When you see a swing like that from a hitter with this much power, he jumps right back in the box. Give it to him again.
Wyatt Queen strikes out the side. And we have played 3.5 here in Eugene, tied at 1.
Wonderful, wonderful job of pitching. 3 strikeouts in a row. Swinging, swinging, and looking. Again, we talked about that slider down and away against Junior Milwaukee and how he should stick with it. And he did, and got the strikeout looking. I don't think Junior was expecting that pitch.
Now these fans treated to such a Kansas Jayhawks wrapping it up in Lawrence. And the Oregon Ducks can do the same thing here against their arch rivals Oregon State. They're trying to punch a ticket to Austin, Texas and the Super Regionals next week. He's David Aardsma. I'm Clay Matvick. And we are tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. Josh Proctor for the Beavers just flew out to center field. You can see how long they've been playing baseball in this long rivalry. But this is the first time they have ever met in the NCAA tournament. And what a ball game we have had. Each team with 1 run, each team with 3 hits, no errors for either club. And a season on the line tonight for Oregon State. Trying to force another ball game tomorrow night. So 1 out, and here's Adam Haight. And David, you won a national championship with Rice back in 2003. You have played in these kind of settings, but a rivalry game adds so much more to it.
Without a doubt. When I played at Rice, our rivals were Texas, and we had to see them all the time. Even in our Super Regional was Houston, right down the street. It brings more energy and more excitement, and every pitch just means more.
Another sellout crowd, 3rd straight night here at PK Park. Line drive into left field for Adam Haight, and this is going to run all the way to the wall. 2nd hit tonight for Haight. He led off the 2nd inning with a base hit and was driven in by Easton Talt. That, for the time, gave the Beavers the lead.
92-mile-an-hour fastball just got a little bit too much of the plate. And Haight doing a wonderful job of hitting this over the shortstop, getting into second base. 4 hits on the night for the Beavers, 2 of them from Haight.
This is their second game of the day for Oregon State. Had a 10-1 win over the Cougars of Washington State. Earlier today, Mitch Canham's team had 15 hits. And that's their 4th of this ball game. So a man on in scoring position for the catcher, Jacob Galloway, who sacrificed Haight over to second base his first time up.
This Beaver offense, every time they get a runner on base, gets creative and does something a little bit different.
Put a lot of pressure on a defense, that's for sure. Breaking ball to Galloway, the veteran catcher.
He's been excellent behind the plate the entire regional, throwing guys out, blocking balls. He has been a bunch of the offense as well.
Yeah, 5 for 10. Galloway had a career-high 5 runs batted in the game earlier today against Washington State, a 4 for 4 game. First time not hosting a regional since 2023 for the Beavers. And here they are taking on their old nemesis, the Ducks. And, you know, there's a smattering of orange in the crowd here tonight, but this is an overwhelmingly hostile crowd for these Beavers.
Very green crowd. And when the Beavers took the field on the first inning, there was a lot of boos. It was very loud.
Man at second, 1 out. And Miles Gostola with a big strikeout, and the guy who's been tough to sit down, Jacob Galloway, 2 away here in the 4th.
6 strikeouts tonight for Gostola. That is the first strikeout that he wasn't ahead of the count 0-1. He's been using his fastball all night, really effective with it, and you see right there against Galloway, went to his slider and got it swing and miss.
Strikeout number 5 for Miles. And this is Jacob Craig lofting one toward the line in the corner. Long run. Angel Laya, the freshman, gets there and makes the catch in front of the railing. That'll end the inning. Ends the Oregon State threat. Still tied at 1 after 4. Baseball regionals presented by Capital One. Full house here in Eugene, Oregon. Game number 2 of the day for Oregon State, hoping to force another game tomorrow. Let's bring in Mitch Canham, head coach of the Beavers. And coach, it's been a long day, I'm sure an exhausting day at times, but your team has fared well so far. What did you say between games getting ready to face your arch rival?
We get to play baseball, so go get a drink of water, grab a bite to eat, and let's get ready to roll. Oh, there it is. But I mean, these guys are excited to go out and play. And after we didn't win the first game, we knew the route that was going to need to be taken. So you put in the work. There's no complaining around here. We get to go play baseball together, get to put the uni on, represent Beaver Nation, so excited for that.
How about that last inning from Wyatt Queen? We saw that you had Isaac Yeager down the bullpen warming up, full ready to go, but had 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, it was hard to go down there and get him when he just kept punching guys out. So but it looks like now I'm on the radio, but I think Isaac might be coming in here shortly.
That's a base hit to start the inning, but all in all, Wyatt Queen is giving you good work.
He is. He's doing a great job. He threw just the other day, threw 40 pitches, came out and said, I'll give you everything I got. Sharp slider, executing his fastball, but keeping the guys off balance. And right now it looks like there's a bit of a glare on the hitter's eye, so difficult to see, but I better take off. I got to go talk some strategy.
You bet, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Maddox Maloney with the leadoff single, first Oregon leadoff hitter to reach. And we appreciate Mitch and Mark and all the coaches in this national tournament who give us that kind of access during play. Jax Jimenez at the plate. He is 0 for 1. 2 for 7 in the regional. Wyatt Queen, his first start, second appearance of the regional. As Mitch alluded to, he was a reliever. First one out of the pen on Friday night, and that loss to Washington State ended up taking the loss in that ball game. He gave up a run in the 8th, but been very good tonight.
Very good tonight, and I think exceptional is the word I would use. They've been getting a lot out of him. He's been effective holding this Oregon offense to really just one run, pitching very well. But one thing I love about college baseball, you get the access to Mitch Canham, the head coach, during the game, talking about his pitcher giving up a hit, talking about the strategy that he is having to implement at the very moment.
He was really impressed with his starter earlier today, Trey Morris. Freshman went 6 2/3, struck out 9 Cougars. And there's another strikeout as Jimenez gets tied up. And strikeout number 6 for Wyatt Queen, and his 4th strikeout in the last 5 batters faced.
Yes.
So Arkansas was just eliminated by the Jayhawks of Kansas. And the Oregon State Beavers, who made the field in Omaha last year, the only team still standing here in 2026 from those clubs that made it to the Big O. This is Jack Brooks, singled and scored in the 3rd.
That's incredible. Only one still standing, and again, fighting for their lives right now, having to win 2 games just to move on.
Brooks flashing bunt. Did not offer, according to the third base umpire, Randy Rosenberg. Now, Oregon State did it the hard way last year. Lost game 1 of the regional and still found their way not only out of the regional, but all the way to Omaha. And teams that lose game 1 of a regional have only advanced out of the regional 7% of the time. Now, that's what Oregon State is up against again here in 2026. And trying to do that 2 years in a row is a real challenge.
Trying to do it just one time is a challenge. Doing it 2 times is incredible. They even went out to Omaha and won a game against Louisville. But this is where they're at. This is the comfort zone. They've done it before. They can do it again.
Swung out and missed by Brooks. So now 1-2 to the number 9 hitter in the Oregon order. Maloney getting on with the leadoff base knock. Wyatt Queen, the starter for Oregon State, pitching here in the 5th. 4 1/3 innings, 1 run allowed, 4 hits.
Let's go, Beaver.
Hasn't walked anybody. Starting pitching for Oregon State has just been dynamite here in the regional. Ethan Kleinschmidt, Eric Segura, both went deep in their starts. Swung on and missed, and that's back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th inning.
And you're talking about the starters, Trey Morris, 6 2/3, 9 strikeouts earlier today, and now Wyatt Queen following it up with this beautiful strikeout. Another great curveball.
Now time is called. Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, coming out. Isaac Yeager has been in the bullpen, and finally they're going to call for him. Pretty good outing for Wyatt Queen. And he ends on a high note. Goes 2 times through the order. Exactly twice through the order. And it appears that that was the game plan. And now they are going to their high leverage right-hander, Isaac Yeager. Pitching change here in Eugene. Thing of renown all season. The starters in this regional have been exceptional, David.
Exceptional is the word just to start with it. Kleinschmidt, Segura, Trey Morris, Wyatt Queen. Wyatt Queen coming in after throwing 38 pitches on Friday night. They've been absolutely lights out. It's every one of them using all of their pitches, pitching in different ways. And it's amazing. Now, Isaac Yeager coming into the game. We saw him yesterday. 6-1, 1.42 ERA, 38 innings pitched on the season, 46 strikeouts.
And the first hitter he is going to face is the top of the order hitter, Ryan Cooney. 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-outs against Queen.
Yeager threw 15 pitches in an inning and a third against Yale.
Pitch misses down and in. Runner at first base, Maddox Maloney led off the inning with a single against Queen. And then back-to-back strikeouts to end his outing.
Isaac Yeager, you're going to see a healthy dose of four-seamers and sliders. A lot of spin coming out of both, 2,400 RPMs on his fastball and almost 2,600 on his slider.
The last 6 Ducks hitters to come to the plate, 5 strikeouts. He scored a run in the third, but they've been tied up since then. Runner goes, swung out and missed. Throw down to second, and not in time. That is a stolen base for Maloney. And Galloway has a very good arm, but that was a terrific jump from Maddox Maloney.
Really a terrific jump off of Yeager. A lot of times when you're stealing bases, you're not stealing it off the catcher, you're stealing it off the pitcher. Really good jump, beat the throw in. And still, Galloway made it close.
Yes, he did. Runner in scoring position. And sliders outside to Cooney. Unofficial team captain for the Oregon Ducks. You talk to Mark Wasikowski and he'll tell you we don't have captains per se, but if we did, it would be Ryan Cooney. Junior from Portland. Chase that one out of the zone, and that is a strikeout to end the inning. So Isaac Yeager comes out of the pen, gets his first strikeout. We played 4.5, still tied at 1 in Eugene. absolutely great game that we're seeing here in the regional finals. Tied at 1, Oregon and Oregon State. Let's bring in Mark Wasikowski, the head coach of the Ducks. And coach, let's start with your pitcher. Miles Gostola called on to get the start here. What are you seeing from your lefty?
He's throwing the ball really well. You know, I mean, he was just off the corners early in the game. He made one mistake. The Tall, that was supposed to be an elevated fastball, and he didn't get it up. He just left it out over the plate, and Tall was able to get to it. You know, Tall hasn't had a hit versus a left-hander since April something or other when we played him. I don't know what time it was, but when we played him, and he's got a nice push bunt, and then he had a nice 2-out knock right there. You know, credit to the kid. So, but I like what our guy's doing. He's out there competing like crazy. It's a pretty good pitcher's matchup if you haven't noticed.
We appreciate it, coach. It sure is. We'll let you get back to it.
All right, sounds great. Go Ducks.
Mark Wasikowski in his 7th year. He's full-time head coach here in Eugene, 55 years old. He was the Big Ten Coach of the Year last year. His team finished tied for 3rd in the regular season in the Big Ten. Lost a heartbreaker to UCLA in the Big Ten Tournament Championship game. And as everybody knows, most likely by now, UCLA, the #1 national seed. The overwhelming #1 team throughout the year. Preseason #1. Eliminated in their own regional. Cal Poly and St. Mary's playing right now in that regional final. That's a shocker. You know, one of the bigger stories in college baseball in recent years, in my opinion.
If you had to guess on a regional that was going to end up like that, that was the last one. UCLA was just dominant all year. Great on both sides of the ball. Defense, pitching, hitting. And man, sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw. You run into the wrong matchup in the wrong place at the wrong time. And UCLA almost lost the conference title, too, to these Oregon Ducks. And then they followed that up with what happened in the regional.
Ground ball to Drew Smith. Member of the All-Big Ten defensive team throws out Tyler Inge to start the bottom of the 5th. I was in Nashville last year when Vanderbilt, the #1 national seed, was upset in that regional. As Louisville came out of there, and Louisville went on to the College World Series. But I think this one resonates more because the Bruins were #1 in the preseason and never veered from that. They were decidedly #1 all year.
They never really faltered. They never had those moments where you were wondering if someone else was better. A lot of very good teams. But UCLA had shown themselves all year to be #1.
So Gostola gets a quick out of the #9 hitter Tyler Inge. And now back to the top. You heard Mark Wasikowski talking about Easton Talt. And that RBI single in the 2nd. Pitch was left up. Talt has 2 hits in this game. Sends a flare out to center. Long run coming in. Brooks. And that sun is still a bit of an issue there. Half of the stadium is in shadows, but the outfield still very much in the sunshine. And Jack Brooks talking there to the infielders. Yeah, that's going to still be an issue for us here for the next inning or so as his sunglasses pop off.
Coach talked about him being the glue guy, and you saw it right there. Great job in center field, fighting off the sun, having to run a long way for that ball.
Singer is 0 for 2, but puts this one into center field. A.J. Singer had 2 hits in the earlier game today against Washington State, and his first of this contest. 2-out base runner for the Beavers.
Having himself a day. A.J. Singer doing a lot defensively, but also with the bat.
So now time is called. Ryan Gibson is kind of the offensive coordinator for these Beavers. Third base coach's box calls Porter over. Porter's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But he has been really swinging it well, raising his average about 100 points over the last month or so. True freshman. Had 3 hits in the game against Yale. 4 hits in the regional. And freshmen always could use some coaching.
Without a doubt. And right here, you're trying to have a conversation about what they're going to do defensively, what you see out there, what you're trying to get the guy to second base. The problem is there's 2 outs. There's not a whole lot you can do besides let the guy swing. But in college baseball and with these Beavers, what you never know if they're going to lay something down or try to hit the run or something.
There's Oregon State's offense throughout the regional. And they really had a hard time against Nick Lewis on Friday night, but since then they've been outstanding. 30 hits in the last 2 games before this one.
Really came out today, this morning game, ready to play, was dominant against Washington State from the get-go. They played very good, complete baseball.
Miles Gostola with 2 outs, delivers, gets a ground ball to short. Maddox Maloney will take the short one, and the inning is over. The base runner stranded for Oregon State. We are through 5 in Eugene, still tied at 1. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? People not afraid to grab their wallet to pay for tickets for this one, because this means a lot to the people of the state of Oregon. Oregon and Oregon State for the right to go on and play Texas in the Super Regional round next week. Of course, that series will decide who goes on to Omaha. Texas Longhorns taking care of UC Santa Barbara and locking up that regional in Austin. The Longhorns will host next weekend whoever it is that comes out of Eugene. And right now, here at PK Park, it is tied at 1 as we move to the 6th inning. And for Oregon, it's Angel Laya, Drew Smith, and Braden Jackson, 2, 3, and 4. Against Isaac Yeager, came on last inning and got 1 out on a strikeout. They have so many bad dudes in the bullpen. Oregon State just rolls them out one after another.
Every one of them coming out with confidence, and a lot of them have different looks, different arm angles, different types of pitches. Some of them have long hair, great, but they all have great mustaches.
Swung out and missed. Laya's going to jog toward first, but Galloway throws him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Yeager, and that's 4 in a row. If you count the 2 that Clean had before he was taken out.
The last 7 outs have all been strikeouts. This is what we've been seeing, though, this entire regional out of Oregon State. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Great defense and strikeouts.
Drew Smith has not struck out yet today. Hit by pitch and an RBI single. He's been on twice. But yeah, in our first game that Oregon State played in today against Washington State, broke the team record for single-season strikeouts. They're at 692 now.
Well-located fastball. But yes, this pitching staff has been dominant all year. You see their ranks, the Division I ranks, top in ERA, top in WHIP.
Big ground ball, charging from third is Vasquez. Long throw, plucked by Craig at first. You know, Jacob Craig's bat hasn't been what it was in 2025 when he helped get the team to Omaha, but at first base, he can handle the mitt.
He doesn't get enough credit for that. Obviously, we talked about him being a huge bat in this lineup, being a little disappointed in what he wants to, but he's able to pick this throw from Vasquez right out of the grass, right out of the dirt, or turf.
Yeah. Something synthetic.
Yes, something, but he pulls it out, gets the out. He deserves more credit for him defensively.
This is Jackson now. Braden Jackson, true freshman, first baseman. 6'6". He's got some power. Big swing and a miss, nothing in 2. He is one of the 3 Oregon Duck rookies who made the Big Ten all-freshman team. Really highly rated catcher coming out of high school, but they've been using him at first base because they have Berkeley Mabius, and they're doing just fine there. Just missed.
It's a hard take. Jackson, very good job at the plate. That is a pitch that looks like it's coming in. You see it start breaking over. A lot of guys will just kind of flail at it. He took it very well.
Galloway again will have to throw down to first. 2 more strikeouts this inning for Isaac Yeager. 5.5 done. Still tied at 1. Real fun. Just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on. College World Series starts in Omaha in less than 2 weeks, Friday, June 12th. We'll have it covered for you again. And these are the tickets punched to the next round, the Super Regional round. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs on their way to the Supers. We talked about Texas, and congratulations to the Kansas Jayhawks under head coach Dan Fitzgerald. Big 12 regular season and tournament champs in their first Super Regional. Jayhawks baseball was quite an afterthought as that young man is getting some high fives after getting a souvenir. For many years in Lawrence, Kansas, but the last couple of years they have been loud in the postseason, and now on to a Super Regional for the first time in the Super Regional format era. This is Paul Vasquez leading it off for Oregon State. What are you seeing from Miles Gastola, the guy who got the start tonight? You know, there was some question about who would they go with, and they decided to go with Gastola. He's been the Sunday starter most of the year. The transfer from Gonzaga.
Doing a wonderful job of keeping the Oregon State hitters off balance. When he's gotten into trouble, he hasn't let that become more, right? So he's bent, he hasn't broken, he's been able to pitch around some guys getting on base. He's had a couple early hitters get on base, and you know, Autalt to start the game. Haight got on in the second inning, and he's been able to pitch around that trouble.
And a called strike 3. Paul Vasquez goes down looking. That's the second time he has struck out Vasquez.
You see him right here with another strikeout. Just believing in that fastball. We talked about it pregame that he is going to use that fastball a lot. He really uses it, just especially against lefties. He uses it against righties. He believes in it, and the fallback pitch will be his fastball.
Proctor swings and misses. Josh Proctor is 0 for 2, also a strikeout victim. Oregon State scored back in the second inning for their first significant threat since then. Oregon answered with a run of their own in the top of the third to tie it. And an RBI single by Drew Smith, and we've been scoreless since. Slow roller out to short, charging Maloney. Proctor is retired, 2 down.
Nice running throw by Proctor, coming up and making that play look really easy. Again, we talked about shortstops. They make those plays look easy. That is not an easy run, grab, and throw. He did it very well.
Two outs for Adam Haight. He and Autalt have multiple hits in this Oregon State lineup. 2 for 2. Base hit in the second, came around to score, and a base hit in the fourth. He's been the main right fielder this year for the Beavers. We saw him make a great catch in left field, though, in our first game against Washington State. As they juggled some guys around late in that ball game, he ended up in left field and made a great sliding catch toward the line. Round pick of the New York Mets 2 years ago. Out in front on that one, too. And now 1-2. Gastola trying to get through the 6th cleanly. Tell you what, he has picked up steam, too, as this game has worn on. And we see Will Sanford, yesterday's starter and winner.
One thing I love is to watch catchers and little reactions after pitches. You see Mabius giving his pitcher the point, little fist. Said that's exactly where he wanted it. Might be a ball, but that's where he wanted the pitch. That might have been a little short.
And Haight works the count full, 3-2. He's been on twice tonight, trying to extend this inning.
When all else fails, Gastola goes to his fastball. That's his fallback pitch. Let's see if he goes here.
It is a fastball, but whipped foul. Gastola had a 1-2-3 third inning when he struck out the side. Oregon hosting for the 5th time in the last 15 years. These crowds have been outstanding here the last few nights. They want this thing wrapped up tonight, too. They don't want to see Oregon State again tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch. Inside, lost it. 2-out base runner, and here comes Galloway.
Not what you want to do when you're ahead of the count like that. Could have gotten a strikeout earlier. You fall behind, end up walking him. Left that fastball a little bit inside, a little bit down.
Galloway swinging it so well, too, and I'm sure that's what's going through Gostola's mind. I got to face this guy now with a man on. 5 for 11 in the tournament, 6 runs batted in. That was only the second full count tonight for Gostola.
Wow.
Both times he has lost the hitter to a walk. Walked Inge in the second. Walks Haight here in the 6th. Lifted down the line, but it's going to get on a play. Miles Gostola, second team, all West Coast Conference last year. At Gonzaga. Transfers here to Oregon. He's been outstanding. Held UCLA to 1 run on 3 hits for 5 innings in his last outing. He's given up 5 hits here tonight. Still looking good in the 6th. Long set. And another foul ball. Fans coming to their feet again.
When you have a crowd like this on their feet, bringing that energy, as a pitcher, you feel it, you want it. You have to focus more. Don't get into it too much, but focus and deliver.
Just toying with him over there. Adam Haight has 5 stolen bases on the year.
Miles Gostola doing a wonderful job of just keeping the runner close, making sure he knows he's paying attention to him, giving him different looks. All of those moves are his B move.
The 0-2. Just off the plate. Maybe has tried to bring it back and sell it to the umpire. Mike Lusky not having it. 1-2, and you see the pitch count now for Gostola. He's at 95. Will this stay in play? Drew Smith coming over, giving it a look, reaching, but it's on top of the dugout. Oregon trying to win a regional for the 4th time since the Super Regional format went into play in 1999. Last time they did it, 2024. Get onto the Supers with a win tonight. And again, Gostola goes to 1st. Strikeout to start the inning. Got Vasquez. Got Proctor to roll over. But Adam Haight extending the inning with the walk. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the catcher, Jacob Galloway.
If this was up the street a little bit at Oregon State, he'd be hearing it from the crowd right now.
Oh boy, they'd be chewing on Gostola for sure. Another 1-2 pitch. Hard out front. And the inning is over. Miles Gostola playing to the crowd. 6 innings in the book in Eugene. This is actually exactly what we wanted, folks. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. We couldn't have asked for anything better than this. Tied at 1, heading to the 7th in the regional final. First ever meeting between these two storied programs that occupy the same state. That's about all they share. And if Oregon can wrap it up here tonight, they'll be heading to Austin, Texas. Oregon State wants to see the Ducks again tomorrow night. So here we are in the 7th inning. It is Berkeley Mabius, the catcher, leading it off for Oregon. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Isaac Yeager, he's got an inning and a third so far, and he has been perfect. 3 strikeouts, no runs, no hits. Talked about it before, David Aardsma, that we have not seen the long ball much in this regional. In fact, just 4 home runs the entire regional, the fewest of all 16 sites. Oregon, one of the top home run hitting teams during the regular year, 104 on the campaign. And it's just it's interesting, it's eerily interesting that we haven't seen the long ball much.
And we saw 2 of the home runs by Yale, who's one of the worst home run hitting teams in the league, or in all of NCAA. But the dude on deck is the man. Ooh.
Look out.
Look out.
Maybe it's some high heat from Yeager.
Junior Lewacki is the man who has brought those 2 other home runs, the only home runs for the Ducks. And they have been absolute bombs. At some point, he will be at the plate with an opportunity. And watch him swing. He hits that ball, it is going to go a long way.
So we got 3-2 to the leadoff man, Mabius. Junior Lewacki, there he is, lurking on deck. Down and in, walked him. And Mabius will sprint down like Pete Rose to first base. Trying to fire up that Ducks dugout, and here comes the big man. Earlier this year, Junior Lewacki hit a ball just shy of 500 feet in a Big Ten game at Illinois. Hit one 450 feet here 2 nights ago. Swings out of his shoes for strike 1.
Isaac Yeager's going to give him a healthy dose of sliders in this at bat.
Down the line, but foul. And there's quickly 2 strikes on Lewacki. This was 2 nights ago against Yale. He knew it immediately. Everybody in the stadium knew it as it went halfway up the light tower. And then last night, another 3-run shot. Pitch away, blocked up by Galloway.
A replay does not do it justice because that ball looked like it just came straight down. That ball hit the right tower and came down.
Smash to left. What a diving grab by Proctor. They won't get the double play, but Josh Proctor just robbed Milwaukee of extra bases.
Josh Proctor coming up a huge, laying completely out for that ball. Line drive. Junior Milwaukee got every little bit of it. Hit it down. And the left fielder, man, Proctor laying out completely for it. Amazing catch. And if he misses it, that is extra bases and a run for the Oregon Ducks. Wow.
Josh Proctor, just a freshman. His dad, Murph, played at USC, and in the minors, he's Essentially the son of a coach. And man, he has some instincts. Got a great jump on that ball for the first out. And now here's Maddox Maloney with one down and maybe is still at first base. That was a potential momentum changer. And Proctor takes an extra base hit away from Junior. That's the other thing about Oregon State. We've talked about the pitching several times here tonight. Nation's best ERA, but also the nation's best fielding percentage. Comebacker, bouncing ball, sees it into center field. Just a little seeing-eye bouncer. Singer and Inge converge, but it's an infield hit for Maloney. 2 on, 1 out, and here comes Jimenez.
Seeing-eye bouncer just past the pitcher. Yeager tries to turn around and makes a play on it. No real play for Singer, no play for Inge. Again, you hit a line drive, absolute missile to the left field, and then you hit a little chopper up the middle and you get the hit. The line drive's an out, chopper's a hit.
So the infield will come together around Isaac Yeager. Oregon trying to get its first super regional appearance after not getting past the regional round last year. In fact, went 0-2 in the regional. Oregon State, they need this one, otherwise it's season over. And now Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, comes out and joins the conference.
Both teams have had a lot of opportunities like this where they'll lay down a bunt, they'll do something, they'll hit and run, get the runners moving. So this conference is about that, talking about what Jimenez might be doing at the plate, how they're going to try to advance those runners, and then how you defensively go against them.
So a little reset here for Isaac Yeager, the big right-hander, as the Ducks have mounted their biggest threat since the 3rd inning when they scored their only run. And here's Jimenez, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, 2 for 8 in the regional. He'll hack at the first pitch and come up empty. Each team 1 run on 5 hits. This thing is tighter than a tick, and again, exactly what the fans were expecting here tonight. Fastball misses downstairs. 1-1.
One thing to keep in mind too, Yeager's pitch count is getting up to 31 pitches, 32 pitches. He did throw 13 yesterday, or 15 yesterday. Guarantee you the Oregon State pitching staff is there that as well.
It's all hands on deck time.
All face paint on FaceTime as well.
That was Ethan Kleinschmidt, the starter from 2 nights ago. Again, I think everybody in the pitching staff, if they've had enough rest, game on.
They have enough guys to cover tonight, without a doubt. They have enough guys to cover tonight. But yes, you have to have that mindset. If you have an arm and you can hold a ball, be ready to pitch.
Yeager delivers and misses downstairs. This is a full count as Jimenez, the good at bat here. Just by the body language, you can see Yeager appears to be running out of steam. 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th. Nearly hit him. Bases full of Ducks. Brooks, not your prototypical 9-hole hitter. Oregon has him full. Brooks is 1 for 2 tonight. Base hit and a run scored. And it's outside.
2 walks this inning for Jaeger. Like you said, he's starting to look like he's losing it a little bit, and Rich Dorman is making his way to the mound. Going to have to pull him.
Wyatt Queen was the starter in this ballgame and was dominant at times. Came out after 4 2/3. It's been Jaeger since. He has kept Oregon off the board, but he is going to leave them loaded for the bullpen. Albert Robles and all that hair coming to the mound. First time in an NCAA tournament setting. Oregon trying to win tonight, wrap up the regional and get onto the supers. Oregon State trying to force another game in this regional. And now they're turning it over to the bullpen. Albert Robles, senior right-hander, among the national leaders in saves. Transferred in this year from Long Beach State, and he's been outstanding.
Been outstanding. 17 hits over the course of the year, 29 innings, 155, tied for the most saves in the nation. See there, 52 strikeouts. This guy comes in with strikeout stuff immediately. Hair will be flowing, arms gonna be well over his head, and he's got some of the best pure stuff in the nation.
Comes into a mess, bases loaded. Jack Brooks at the plate. Already had a ball in the count. 1-1 now to Brooks, the 9-hole hitter who's 1 for 2 tonight, 2 hits in the regional. 1 out. Down in the turf, Galloway bodies that up beautifully.
Galloway, man, he is one of the best in the country, and that is, you see it. A lot of belief in your catcher when he blocks balls like that.
2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1, no place to put him. And the top of the order, Ryan Cooney on deck. Brooks with an RBI walk out of the 9-hole. And Oregon has has its first lead of this regional final.
Tough situation to come into. One ball, no strikes, but you are the closer. You are the man. Take that ball and deliver some strikes. Oregon State depending on you right here.
Loaded for Cooney. This is why you host. This is why you want to host. Slider on the outside corner. Ryan Cooney 0 for 3, struck out his last time up in the 5th. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-1. And Angelaya, the freshman, who has set the home run record for rookies in Oregon history, ready to hit next. Just caught the outside corner. 3-2 to Ryan Cooney. There's a gentle breeze blowing out. It's been blowing out all day. Therefore, it's 3-1.
You said it. This is why you host. This is why you have the regular season. This is why you play baseball all year long, to be in this position for this exact moment.
Albert Robles, one of the best in the business all year long. But you come into this environment, these Ducks fans, they'll eat you alive. 4 straight Oregon batters have reached base. The offense has come alive late in ball games here in the regional. Against Yale, Washington State. A couple runs here in the 7th tonight, and they're not done. And now time is called. Oregon is going to call time for an offensive discussion out in front of their dugout. So what do you think this is all about?
This is about strategy. We also know Oregon is one of these teams. They have all the power in the world, but they will do the little things to try to get guys going. Right now, you have a pitcher on the mound who's in his head. Walk 2 guys, walk 2 runs in. They're going to cause some havoc. They're going to do something to try to get him even more off of his normal comfort zone, which Dorman walked out there trying to calm him down. I guarantee he's in a better place than he was before. So now it's Oregon's job.
Zach Edwards warming up for Oregon State. Albert Robles just trying to survive here in the 7th. Oregon has taken a 2-run lead. Bases still loaded, still just 1 out. Angelaya, the hotshot freshman at the plate for the Ducks. Check swing. He went.
Big breaking ball for Albert Robles. You've seen that, him going to the breaking ball when he's behind the count, or even the start of the count here. A lot of trust in it. He's a big fastball guy, uses fastball a lot. But in these tight moments, he's been going to that breaking ball.
Checked again. And he went again. 2 strikes as Robles tries to get this thing back on track. Here comes the 0-2. Ground ball to third, stepping on the bag. Vasquez, throw gets away from Craig. Another run scores, it's 4-1.
Vasquez, Gold Glover over there, does make a good job of making the play. Had to step back for the ball with the funky bounce. Stepped back for it, came up to third, got the out, and then rushed the throw. He had a moment maybe to step towards first and make a better throw, but he chose to run to the side and throw off the side, and that's when the throw got away from him. But Craig did a good job of keeping it there where the runner didn't advance.
3-run inning for Oregon. And now their most devastating hitter at the plate, Drew Smith. 15 home runs on the year for Smith. Veteran third baseman. RBI single back in the third. 6 hits, couple of runs batted in this weekend. Now the lead is 3, but remember, Oregon State is actually the home team. So they still have 3 cracks at this thing, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. But they will be chasing it now. Big swing and a miss, 2-1.
Oregon State, too, has been wonderful hitting in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. That is when they've come on as well. So they definitely have fight left in them.
2-1 pitch. And now 2-2. Albert Robles, he just looks like a reliever.
Every little bit of it. If he was a starter, it'd be wrong.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Smith. Got it. And the inning is finally over for Oregon State. But the Ducks get this fan base riled up. They scored 3 times in the top of the 7th and now lead it 4-1. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? What an atmosphere here in Eugene, Oregon tonight. One of the prettiest parts of the country, and we've had great weather here in Eugene the last few days. It rained a little bit on Friday, but not enough to disturb the schedule. And the fans have been treated to great baseball, especially the Oregon fans. Fired up about that 3-run 7th as they give the lead now to Luke Morgan, who comes out of the bullpen for the Ducks.
First reliever we've seen come out of the bullpen for the Ducks. See a 5.4 ERA, 23 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, 9 walks, so there's a little bit of a propensity to walk some guys, but again, just like everybody coming out of the bullpen here, strikeouts are their game. You're going to see about 91, 92 miles an hour fastball and a lot of curveballs, really just those 2 pitches.
And he's facing Jacob Craig out of the 8th hole to start the inning. So Miles Garstilla goes 6 innings, allows 1 run, 5 hits. Did walk 3, but had 8 strikeouts before his night came to an end. Just the kind of start you need in a situation like this. And Miles Garstilla gave it to the Ducks. That crowd last half inning. We were talking about being a host and how important that is. It's like the 10th man. You hear about the 11th man, or excuse me, the 12th man on the football, the diamond, football field. On the diamond, it's the 10th man. And the crowd was just so impactful last time.
Absolutely, every single pitch, every ball Robles threw, they got louder and louder. And you felt it up here, you had to feel it on the field.
Called strike 3. Craig goes down looking. It's the 2nd time he has struck out tonight. So Morgan out on the right foot for Oregon.
Again, fastballs and curveballs. Big curveballs here by Morgan. It's got a lot of movement, a lot of spin on it, and it's hard to sit in there and just be comfortable with it.
So this regional, look at the strikeouts per 9, 42 Ks, leads everybody in the postseason. So Oregon State, they've had the best pitching staff arguably in the country all year, and I don't think there are many people arguing. And look at what Oregon has done.
Yes, and a lot of that, I mean, Will Sanford, he was absolutely electric, but this staff is, every one of these guys are holding their own.
Crowd wanted to strike, not going to get it. Maybe has tried to frame it up. Tyler Inge at the plate, 0 for 1 with a walk. He was tagged out at home plate back in the 2nd inning. There was a challenge by Oregon State. He was called out. It was upheld. That would have been a momentum switch, I think, at that time. It would have been a 2-run inning. As it happens, the inning ends, and Oregon comes right back. The next half ties the game at 1. Well, pressure now on Oregon State, down 3. Game's getting long in the tooth. Their season on the line. And now full count. 66% of regional hosts have advanced to the Super Regional since 1999. That's when the Super Regional format came into play. So that already boded well for Oregon. And a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking.
Absolutely perfectly well executed fastball, 93 miles an hour on the outside corner. Perfect. Absolutely perfect pitch. You're seeing him throw it, big breaking balls, and then following it up with this electric fastball. Wow.
Two strikeouts for big Luke Morgan. Now the top of the order, Easton Talt, who's been a tough out all year and tonight. A couple of base hits, drove in a run in the 2nd. The only run for the Beavers. Had a terrific postseason last year. was named to that Corvallis All-Regional team. Look at the numbers in this regional. 5 runs batted in. He did go. Strike 2.
When you're pitching like this, you can throw anything you want. Breaking ball, fastball, it really doesn't matter. He's pitching with so much confidence. The crowd is getting into it.
Line down the line, and that's going to be a base hit. It's going to run all the way to the wall. On his way to second, standing up, is Easton Talt. I'll tell you what, he is a spark plug at the top of the order. 2-out base knock for Easton Talt. That is his second 2-out hit tonight.
3rd hit of the evening for him. He has been a spark plug for this offense all tournament. And again, goes down and gets the curveball, doesn't let it hit the ground, stays on it and lets his hand just do the work.
Now time called here. Matt Floor, the pitching coach. Just to remind Luke Morgan that, hey, we got a nice lead. We've looked dominant here through the first couple of hitters. Yeah, Talt just got a double off of you, but this is a reset.
Without a doubt, it's a reset, reminding them exactly like you said. You've been dominant, you've been throwing really good stuff, and then they're going to talk about what A.J. Singer does. A.J. Singer's been really creative at the plate, doing a lot of different things, trying to get on base. And so it's a little bit of both, that reset and preparing for the hitter.
So Floor will head back to the dugout. First year as a pitching coach. Came over from San Diego. Along with Cal Scolari, who we saw as the starter on Friday night for the Ducks, the West Coast Conference Pitcher of the Year last year. Kind of a package deal for the Ducks. All right, so a man on, 2 outs, and here's A.J. Singer. Singer in this ball game 1 for 3. Senior leads the team in runs batted in. Beavers could use one now. Off-speed pitch catches the inside corner. There's activity in the Oregon bullpen. Morgan would like to get through the 7th here without a pitching change. Comes right at Singer, and it's fouled off. Now it's 1-2. Here comes this crowd again. Full throat. 1-2 pitch. Singer is a battler.
Absolutely. A professional hitter at the plate. He is not going to go down easy.
Blocked. Mabius keeps it in front.
Mabius so good behind the plate, taking that off the leg, doing whatever he has to do to not let that ball get past him.
And he's limping a little bit. The umpire, you can see Mike Lusky ask him, "You all right, kid?" He said, "Let's keep going here."
He'll feel good after the win.
Oregon State is hoping there's a long way to go before that. 2-2. Again, got just a piece of it. And did that get the umpire this time, or did it get Mabius again?
Same exact spot.
I think you and I have talked about this. Why kids decide they want to catch is beyond me.
I have no idea.
Oh, mercy.
Right in that left thigh. 2 times in a row. Can we make it 3?
Well, he's smiling, so that's a good sign.
I think the umpire, Mike Glusky, just probably told him a good joke. Let him try to laugh it off.
1 on, 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Long at bat here for A.J. Singer. They're making Luke Morgan work for that out. Pitch number 8 to Singer. So the 2-hole hitter works it full. Ethan Porter is on deck. And now you're getting to the meat of the Oregon State lineup with Porter. Called strike 3. Morgan gets him looking. Ducks lead remains 3. We head to the 8th in Eugene.
Oh, man, he is pumped up. Look at him after this strikeout. Morgan is fired up, getting the crowd into it after this long at-bat by A.J. Singer. He is feeling it, feeling this crowd, and bringing them into the dugout. Great job.
Play mat for David Aertsma back here in Eugene, 4-1. Ducks leading it. The number 11 national seed. With the win over Oregon State, will move on to their Super Regionals next week in Austin, Texas. Oregon State trying to force another game tomorrow night. Braden Jackson leads it off for the Ducks here in the 8th. 4, 5, and 6 for Oregon.
Robles staying in the game. Threw 40 pitches his first outing, 20 in this outing. See if they start adding up.
A couple of strikeouts for Jackson tonight. So Robles comes in, to start this inning clean. That was a tough spot that he walked into last inning. Came in, bases loaded, and this place was just amped up.
And he was just off just enough. And this crowd is living and dying on every single pitch, fired up and making it very hard on Robles. But this is what you do as a closer. You face this environment.
There's a strike, 3-1. Jackson, 10 home runs on the year. And one to the freshman. Chops it To third, that's a fair ball. Vasquez, long throw, not in time. Good stretch by Craig, made it close, but Jackson, with those long levers, gets down the line and beats it out.
Great play by the third baseman Vasquez. We talked about his defense. Amazing play, step back, throws, uses the turf to try to get it over there a little faster. But Jackson, that huge 6'6" frame, reaching and just beating it out.
First hit tonight for Jackson. And his fourth hit of the regional. And now here's Berkeley Mabius, who's probably still a little nicked up from that last half inning defensively behind home plate. Took a couple of shots off the body. Walked and scored a run in the seventh. It was the go-ahead run at the time. Still is. Oregon tacking on two more.
And to see how comfortable Oregon is with this 3-run lead. If they try to get a bunt down, try to get the runner over to second base somehow.
For those just tuning in and maybe unaware, Oregon State playing its second game of the day. Had to beat a good Washington State team earlier today. Won 10-1. So they've been at the ballpark many hours. And now down 3. Another chopper left side. Vasquez plays the high hop. Another throw across the diamond. This time gets Mabius. It's a productive out as Braden Jackson now is in scoring position.
Again, your job is just to get the guy over. Mabius does a wonderful job of that. It doesn't have to be a bunt or a base hit. Just get the runner in the scoring position. You got one out and your big bopper at the plate.
Well, this is the time of the game the last couple of nights where Milwaukee has flexed his muscle. 3-run homer late against Yale, 3-run homer late against Washington State, and now time is called. Rich Dorman coming out. They are going to make the call to the bullpen. What a different matchup for Milwaukee. You got a guy that can hit balls close to 500 feet coming up. They want the right matchup. And Zach Edwards is making his way to the mound out of the Oregon State bullpen. 4-1 Oregon. Man on here in the 8th. We step aside. The last couple of nights, Junior Lawaki didn't decide the game. but he put the game on ice. 3-run homer against Yale, 3-run homer last night against Washington State. And now he comes up in a very similar situation. It's already 4-1 Oregon, but he could really take the air out of the Beavers right here.
He could kill them with a blast, and this is what he's done against Yale. He did it against Washington State. We're in this moment, this exact spot. And has he come up big twice in a row? Can he do it a third time?
He just smoked a ball to left field his last time up in the 7th inning. Josh Proctor made a phenomenal catch. Only has 2 hits in this regional, but they've been memorable. And the new pitcher, Zach Edwards. And a couple of alpha males going head-to-head here.
Zach Edwards, a 6'2", 230 sophomore. 6 ERA this year, 17 games, 24 innings pitched, and 35 strikeouts.
Oh, they got the runner hung up. Edwards to second, out. Jaxa hung up. Edwards spots him and throws him out at second base.
Jackson trying to get the third base, trying to cheat over there, and just went a little early, thinking Edwards wasn't paying attention. And he looked at him right at the perfect spot, steps off, and gets the out. Good job by the pitcher.
2 down now, and the base is empty. Two strikes.
Junior Milwaukee has seen a healthy dose of sliders every single at bat this game. I don't expect that to change here.
And slider stays away. Good discipline that time from Navlivo Labaki. They call him Junior.
Hey, the ball's that way.
Well, that pickoff could be extremely important. 2 down. Zach Edwards out of the bullpen, trying to get out of the inning. Milwaukee has struck out twice tonight. Another slider away, 3-2. And Maddox Maloney is on deck, an infield hit his last time up. Milwaukee is aboard.
Lets him get away, was ahead of the count, and then every pitch after that just overthrowing. Those sliders were middle away and letting him just slide off the plate. Every pitch after that was well out of the zone. No pitches close enough for Junior to even attempt at.
So this is the shortstop Maloney, 12 homers on the year. Has 2 hits tonight. Goes to the right side. Singer is there. The throw in time. What a play for A.J. Singer. Covered a lot of ground to his left, threw across his body to get Maloney and end the threat. Really good start tonight for Miles Gostola. 98 pitches, 6 innings, 1 earned run tonight. Walked a couple, 8 strikeouts. Exactly what you want from your number 3 arm in a big game like this. A game that, if you win it, you're on to the Super Regional round.
Huge game. And again, as a number 3 starter, a lot of times you don't have opportunities like this to step up on huge moments, and he absolutely did. Again, just scattering those 8 base runners and not really letting anything get going.
Tanner Bradley on for the 2nd time in 2 nights. Luke Morgan was in there for 1 inning and was really good. 3 strikeouts. And now Bradley back on the mound for the Ducks. They're often used right-handed relievers.
50 innings pitched, 77 strikeouts. We saw him last night for an inning and 2/3 and got 3 strikeouts. Again, another pitcher with really funky stuff.
Ethan Porter, Paul Vasquez, Josh Proctor, 3, 4, and 5 here in the 8th for Oregon State as they're starting to run out of outs. To the first baseman, Jackson knocks it down, steps on the bag, and Porter is retired. What we have seen here today, but especially in this ball game for Oregon State, a lot of swing and miss, a lot of strikeouts all day today. 19 if you go back to the Washington State game.
Ton of strikeouts. Again, we talked about Oregon State striking everybody in the world out and just owning it. But Oregon has really been stepping up as well and getting a lot of outs via strikeout.
Vasquez has struck out twice, but this could be extra bases. Heading to second, the throw will be cut off. Paul Vasquez slides into second base with a 1-out double.
Vasquez giving us exactly what Oregon State needs. A base runner, got the quick out with Ethan Porter, and now he's standing on second base with an opportunity for Oregon State to cause some damage and get right back in this ballgame.
First hit of this game for Vasquez. Now Josh Proctor, he went around. Proctor with that excellent catch in left field earlier tonight. Quiet at the plate, though, in this game. He's 0 for 3. That is the 3rd double tonight for Oregon State. The other hits all singles. That tied him up. 2 strikes. You know, Bradley wasn't in that ballgame long last night for the Ducks, but he was effective.
Absolutely effective, just like every reliever has been for Oregon. Mabius with the diving catch. Almost went to the backstop.
Every position player for the Ducks, a product of the program. That's one thing that Mark Wasikowski will brag about with his team this year. Such a homegrown team. Every single position player has been in the program from the start. Not one is a transfer. That includes Mabius. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat, not foul. The count will ride along at 2-2 to Proctor. That is very unusual for college baseball these days. You know, most teams build their entire squad around portal players. Two-two. Took something off. Tanner Bradley puts down Josh Proctor. for their second out.
Tanner Bradley really effective against right-handed hitters. They swing and miss a lot. You see him going to his changeup. Right-on-right changeup is very hard to throw, especially from that arm slot, and he was able to execute perfectly.
Adam Haight, 2 for 2 tonight for Oregon State.
Haight has been a problem for Oregon tonight. 2 for 2 with a double, single, and a walk. He has been a big part of this offense.
6 hits in the regional. Half-hearted swing, and now it's 0-2. Here comes the crowd again. 1 run away from the Supers, the Ducks. Inching closer. Third night in a row with a sellout, standing room only, parking lot that's going to take 3 hours to get back to downtown Eugene tonight. That hit him. And you can see Tanner Bradley just disgusted with himself. That slipped. So 2 base runners now with 2 outs, and the tying run coming to the plate in Galloway.
Tanner Bradley throwing a changeup again to a right-handed hitter. Like I said, this is a very hard pitch to throw, and he doesn't finish it. Lets it stay arm side, and it slips out. It tags him right in the middle of the leg.
Galloway is 0 for 2.
Galloway is 1 swing away from tying this ball game up and giving Oregon State a chance.
Galloway was all Pac-12 at USC a couple of years ago. Transferred to Texas A&M, but only played in a handful of games last year for the Aggies. Wanted a change of scenery. Boy, has he been a good fit for the Beavers, trying to deliver here. Off the plate, 1-2.
Slider just barely down. Well executed pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on here in the 8th. Tanner Bradley needs a moment to tie his laces. And maybe to take a deep breath. First and second, 2 out. Beavers down 3. Lifted down the line left field. Jimenez gives it a look. He's out of territory. Over. Lead is 3. Off to the 9th in Eugene.
split. Another big strikeout for the Oregon Ducks. Tanner Bradley going back to that changeup, getting a huge swing and miss.
So Texas is in the Super Regional in Austin next weekend as they took out UC Santa Barbara. Winner of this regional here in Eugene will play the Longhorns next week. And right now, the Oregon Ducks are well positioned to be in the Lone Star State. This is Jax Jimenez in the 9th. As the Ducks are looking for insurance. This is their ballpark. They're the visiting team on the scoreboard. After Jimenez, Jack Brooks, and then the top of the order, Cooney. Zach Edwards kept Oregon from scoring anything in the 8th. And now 1-2 on the hitter, Jimenez. Zach Edwards absolutely has to keep this a 3-run game. Jimenez a walk and a run scored tonight. It came in that 3-run 7th. That's the difference in this contest. Foul back again. Looking ahead to the Oregon State 9th. 8, 9, and 1. Jacob Craig, Tyler Inge, Easton Talt. And that's a punch out. Jimenez didn't like it. The crowd certainly doesn't like it. There's one away.
They might not like it, but that was a very well executed pitch. Down and in, a perfect spot. There's nothing you can do as a hitter about it. You take it, and you don't like it. Maybe a little down and in. But as a pitcher, I like it. Good pitch.
Strike 1 to Jack Brooks. Brooks an RBI walk in the 7th inning. First of 2 in a row. He and Cooney productive at bats, drawing walks to score 2 runs for Oregon. Devin Bell, who's been a lights-out closer this year for Oregon, is poised to come into this ball game in the 9th.
He's an Oregon player.
Just off the plate, 2-2 to Jack Brooks. Two away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Edwards.
Edwards has come in and done a great job for this Oregon State pitching staff. Again, man after man taking the ball and striking out hitters. This is what they do, and they do it very well.
And now he'll face Cooney. 0 for 3. What a difference a year makes. The Ducks went 0-2 in this tournament last year. Have a chance to win 3 straight games in front of their home crowd this year and get onto the Super Regional. Sixth straight NCAA tournament for Oregon. Longest streak in Ducks baseball history, which was revived. Of course, this program revived in 2009. Back up the middle. And that's going to find its way into center field. 2-out base hit for Cooney. Ducks looking to tack on here in the top of the inning. Elijah Cook is going to get his first plate appearance here tonight. Came on as a defensive replacement. Batting in Angel Laya spotted the order. The Ducks had the program down for a while and then brought it back, and it's been successful ever since. People forget that it was a proud program in the first half of last century. Went to the College World Series back in 1954. Haven't been there since. Coach at that time was Don Kirsch, the late Don Kirsch, and Mark Wasikowski was won a national championship as a player at Pepperdine. He was a captain of the Waves back in '92. He wants to lead this team to Omaha in the worst way. And I think even at times throughout the course of this season, David, he has been impressed with this group. I mean, to the point where he's amazed at how resilient and how talented this group of guys that he has is. Check swing did not go.
We've seen it on display here this entire regional. From the moment ago, this Ducks team has played together as one unit, and played very well. From pitching staff, defensively, with the bats, they've been able to do it all.
Runner goes, and just getting a piece of it on the hit and run is Cook. Devin Bell, when he comes into this ball game, he's going to want to work quickly. He's going to want to get this crowd amped up. He's going to want to shut the door in a hurry. Again, runner goes. Pitches the ball, throw down to second, in time, got it, inning over. Cooney is thrown out by Galloway, and the Beavers will be down 3 in bottom of the 9th. Devin Bell, the closer, coming on. There's the big man, Devin Bell. All 6'4" of him. So he comes downhill at you. This will be his 27th appearance, 12 saves on the year. Needs 3 outs to punch a ticket to Texas.
The no save is bigger than this one in this situation against this team. He's done it before. He knows how to pitch in these situations, and he's got closer type stuff. 94, 95 mile-an-hour fastball, big downhill angle and extension with a very tight slider right behind it. He knows how to pitch in big situations. He wants the ball, and now he has it.
Bryson Glasgow is going to pinch hit for Jacob Craig. Craig went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. This is Glasgow. JUCO All-American last year. Nearly hit him. 5 home runs on the year for Glasgow. And a part-time starter at first base this year. Trying to get something going in the 9th for the Beavers. Strike 1 from Devin Bell.
Devin Bell came in against Washington State. 1 inning, 1 hit, couple strikeouts.
Division II All-American at Western Oregon last year. Has come into this Ducks program and been dynamite at the back end of the bullpen. That stays high, 2-2. Just trying to set the table for Oregon State, needing 3 to tie this ball game. Backhanded at first. Beautiful play by Jackson. That's a freshman, folks, in a big moment, 1 down.
Beautiful play by Jackson. That ball came off the bat hot. They make it look easy.
Tyler Inge, 3 hits in the regional. trying to get on. Top of the order is on deck. And Easton Talt, especially at the top of the order, he has 3 hits tonight. Right behind him is Singer. So this is kind of in the part of the lineup where Oregon State would like to be in a situation like this. Whips the outside corner, 1 and 2.
Without a doubt, if you're Oregon, you're trying to get to Talt with 2 outs. You do not want anybody on base with him at the plate.
Called strike 3, and now the Beavers are down to their final out. Sure, Easton Talt isn't thinking this way, but as a senior, it'd be his final at bat in this uniform. Helped the Beavers get to Omaha last year. It's in the turf, and that nicked Mike Lusky, the home plate umpire.
He's going to walk it up. He's going to take a little walk, slow the game down, breathe it a little bit. He's going to ask for a baseball from the dugout to take a little bit extra time.
Oregon 1 out away from its 4th Super Regional appearance. Went to the Supers in 12, 23, and 24. 2 balls and no strikes. On Easton Talt. Could end the ball game. Jackson to the bag, it's over. The Ducks are going to fly to the Lone Star State and take on the Longhorns this coming week. Miles Costello, the winning pitcher. Beautiful performance tonight. He's our Capital One rewarding performance. 8 strikeouts in his start.
Absolutely dominant, and this entire pitching staff dominant as well. 14 strikeouts, 1 run, and just mixing in 7 hits. Costello starting the way, the number 3 starter for the Oregon Ducks, and he took on this big situation and just loved it and pitched amazing.
Devin Bell will pick up the save. And Oregon is moving on. They will take on the Texas Longhorns in Austin in the Super Regional round, needing just 2 wins to get to Omaha. And that's every player's dream this time of year. And tonight, they beat their rivals to do it. That just adds to the excitement here tonight for these players, for these fans.
Without a doubt, the fans came here for an amazing game, an amazing tournament. They came out every single game, and they got to see their Ducks, who were disappointing last year, come through this year in a couple huge wins, and now they're going to Texas.
Oregon 4, Oregon State 1. What a weekend it's been in Eugene. For David Aartsma and our entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick. We say so long, Oregon, advancing to the Super Regional in Austin next week.